Welcome back to another lecture of strength of materials. In this video, we are going to see how to calculate the shear stress in this I-beam at different points. So basically, I will divide this video into three parts, right? And I'm requesting you to go through all the three parts to know the details and how to calculate the shear stress at every point and how to draw the shear stress distribution of this I-beam. So let's go through the problem now. Okay, so first we have the applied shear force, which is equal to kilonewton. This amount of shear force is being applied externally to this I-beam. And we have been asked to calculate the shear stress for point B in the flange. Okay, so this is my point B. See, the point is marked in blue. Okay, so first we have to calculate shear stress of this point B in the flange, right? So students, basically this is an I section, or to be more specific, this is an I beam. So here this member, the top member and the bottom member, these are known as flange. These are horizontal components of an I beam, and the vertical component of an I beam is known as a web, right? Now, second thing, or subdivision B, we have to calculate the shear stress at point B in the web. Okay, so again we have to calculate the shear stress at point B, but this time not in the flange. This time we have to calculate it in the web, right? And then we have to calculate the shear stress at point C. So point C is just at the center of this I-beam, right? It is at the center, which means that the point C is passing through the neutral axis of this I-beam. Okay, so this is the neutral axis of this I-beam, right? Now let's check the dimensions. Okay, let me just write down, this is the neutral axis. Okay, so let me just tell you one more thing, that neutral axis is the axis along which the member or the fibers of the member does not undergo any compression or tension, which means that there is no compressive strain or tensile strain in the fiber which is lying on the neutral axis plane. Clear? Now this is an I-beam, and the flange, the width of the flange is given as 150 mm, right? The thickness of the flange is given as 25 mm. Okay, this is the web whose thickness is 20 mm, and this much, this height of the web is 200 mm. Okay, so what is the overall depth of this beam? The overall depth of this beam is going to be this much, which is equal to 200 plus, you have two flanges, so you have to add 2 into thickness of the flange 25, so that is coming out as 250 mm. Okay, so this is my overall depth of the beam. Clear? Now let's check how to calculate the shear stress. Okay, so let's go to the formula. Okay, so here you have the formula. Let me just show the formula in a better way, right? Okay, so here is the calculation of shear stress. This is the formula for calculation of shear stress. Okay, tau is basically termed as the shear stress. It is the symbol for shear stress, that is equal to V by IB into A Y bar. What is V? V is nothing but the applied shear force. Okay, the shear force that is acting on the beam. What is I? I is very simple. Everyone knows it is the moment of inertia about the major axis or the XX axis. Okay, so if suppose I have a T-beam here and the major axis will be passing parallel to this flange, right? So you have to calculate the moment of inertia of the section for which you have to calculate the shear stress values. Okay, then we have B. B is what? It is the width of the section in which shear stress is to be calculated. This is going to be stress, right? So B is going to be the width of the section at which shear stress has to be calculated. So we will see what is B in the problem which we were explaining, which we were discussing. And what is AY? AY bar. This is a very important term. You know V, you know I, you know B. These things will already be there in the problem. But students often get confused about how to calculate AY. What is A is basically the area, and Y bar is basically the distance of a particular area with respect to the neutral axis or the centroid of a section. So which area do we have to consider? See, AY bar is nothing but the moment of area of the section above the point which is under consideration above the neutral axis. Okay, so AY bar is basically the moment of area of an area, okay, which is lying above the point at which shear stress has to be calculated. Okay, so I know it's a little confusing, it's not understandable, but once you solve the problem of the I-beam, the concept of AY bar will be more clear. Okay, so let's go back to the problem. All right. So first, our basic formula was V into AY bar by I into B. Okay, so let's just collect all the values. We have V is equal to 50 kilonewton. Let me write it down here. V is equal to 50 into 10 to the power 3 into 10 to the power 3 kilonewton. Or sorry, it should be Newton because I'm multiplying 10 to the power 3, right? Then we have I. Now how to calculate I? I is the moment of inertia. Now you know that for a rectangular section, the moment of inertia, or MOI, is equal to how much? It is equal to BD cube by 12. Okay, so BD cube by 12, right? What is B? Suppose we have a rectangle here, clear? We have this rectangle, and B is nothing but this width of the rectangle, and D is the total height or overall height of the rectangle. So this is B and this is D. Okay, so let me just erase these things off. Now you have to implement this formula, this moment of inertia formula for the rectangular beam, to calculate the moment of inertia for this I-beam. Now, in order to calculate the moment of inertia for the I-beam, you have to consider two rectangles. Okay, see the formula that I have used here: capital B into capital D cube by 12 minus small b into small b d cube divided by 12. So these are basically moment of inertia of rectangles. So I'm simply subtracting one moment, the moment of inertia of a smaller rectangle, from the moment of inertia of a bigger rectangle. So what you have to do, you have to simplify this I-beam into two rectangles. Okay, now let me show you how. So see, you can consider one big rectangle. Okay, this is my one big rectangle here. Okay, this is one big rectangle whose width is 150 mm. See, below I have written down the width of this rectangle is 150 mm, and just do one more thing. I can't show it in a transparent way. So this is one bigger rectangle whose width is 150 mm, and the total depth is how much? I had already told you the total depth was 250 mm. Okay, so this is my bigger rectangle. Now let me remove it. Okay, now I have to consider another rectangle. What will be my smaller rectangle? So it is going to be my smaller rectangle is going to be this one rectangle, and this is the other rectangle. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to find out the total width of these two rectangles. How much is that going to be? Okay, so see, you have the total width of the flanges 150. Now if you subtract the thickness of this web, you are going to get 150 minus 20, that is equal to 130. Okay, and so okay, so this much is how much? This much plus this much. It's very difficult like this. Anyway, I'll still show you. Okay. Okay. So this total width of the smaller rectangle is going to be how much? It is going to be 150 minus 20, that is 130. So if this is X and this is Y, then it is going to be X plus Y. Suppose this is X and suppose this is Y, then X plus Y is going to be how much? 150 minus 20, okay, which is equal to 130. And what is the height? Now I will not write X plus Y, I will rather write it as small b, which is equal to 130 mm. And what is the height of this thing? What is the height of these two rectangle? It is equal to nothing but 200. It is already given in the problem. Clear? Okay, so I'm going to rub this off. So the width of the smaller rectangle is 130 mm and the height is 200 mm. Okay, now see, I've already written it down here, and I will simply put the values of capital B, capital D, and small b and small d in this formula, or in this expression, and the moment of inertia has been calculated as 1.086 into 10 to the power 8 millimeter to the power 4. Okay, so next what we are going to do, we are going to use these values of moment of inertia, shear force. We are going to calculate product of A y bar, that is moment of area, and we are going to calculate the width of the section for which shear stress is to be calculated, and calculate the values of shear stress at different points in the next videos.